Hi guys, Happy New Year to you. We're already in 2020. I'm making this video a little bit later than I have done in past years. This has become an annual tradition for me. I think, is it 2015, 2016, something like that, I started making these videos. I'm going to pop links to all my previous year's videos in the description below in case you want to go and see any of them. I like looking back on my previous videos because it's just really interesting to kind of like see the journey that I have been on in my life and everything, and how things like change and evolve and all that kind of stuff. So I like doing that. Maybe you're not so keen because it's like not your life, but they're there if you'd like to go and see them. So yeah, I like to give myself a word. Sometimes it's more than one word, sometimes it's more like a phrase for the year, and for me that kind of like just helps to like set intentions for the year ahead. It's not really, they're not really goals per se, you know, it's more like a way that I'd like to live my life, or things that I need to work on, things I need to focus on, that kind of thing. It's just, for me, it's just kind of like, yeah, just basically like intention setting for the year. And my words very often come to me. I don't usually go out and seek the words, they usually come to me. And they come to me all kinds of ways. This year, this particular word, so in 2019, this particular word, towards the end of 2019, like December time, this particular word just kept popping up all the time. And then all of a sudden I had like, I don't know, like an epiphany or whatever it is. I had this like moment when I was like, yeah, this must be my word for 2020. This is it. This is my word, and I'm actually really happy. Bit of shoulder there. I'm actually really happy with the word that has come my way, and that word is change, or changes. And it's an interesting word, and it kind of has like a double sort of meaning for me. So this coming year, 2020, we're in this year now. It's not a coming year, we're in it. So this year, 2020, there are going to be some changes coming. I already know what those changes are, but I do not know when those changes are coming. And so it's one of those things that is quite difficult to prepare for. Like, I can prepare to a certain extent, but I can't prepare like fully. I mean, no one can prepare fully for all eventualities, but my brain, I'm a little bit of a control freak, a little bit OCD like, and so part of me struggles a bit with not knowing when these changes are happening, and not necessarily being able to have all my ducks in a row for when those changes come, if you see what I mean. I'm getting really hot. I think the heating's on in here. So I'm getting really hot. Or maybe this is just the way of what I'm discussing about coming to fruition. So yeah, so for me there's going to be some changes. There's going to be big changes and a period of adjustment, or a period of change. And so I need to be more flexible in my approach to these things. I need to think more, I'm going to have to strip off. So I need to be more flexible in my approaches and in my outlook and everything, because the changes are happening and I want the changes. They're happening, I want the changes, but I don't know when they are or what I need to prepare fully. But so I need to kind of like be more open for that, and more fluid, and allow for that movement and those changes. So yeah, some big changes coming. Also, I want to make some changes too. So I'm sitting on the, I always sit on the edge of my bed when I'm filming face-to-face videos, and then I slowly find myself like sliding off. So yeah, I also want to make some changes. Now, I don't I used to set New Year's resolutions, but as I've got older and time has gone on, I'm so not into them. In fact, I actually got a little bit fed up of seeing loads of posts over the new year on Instagram and Facebook about like new me, new, you know, new me, new year, new me. Sorry, I kicked the tripod. New year, new me, new diet, new this, new this. And I was a bit like, oh, see, I like goals and I do believe in setting goals. I have written a list of goals or maybe things to work towards this year. And further afield. I have written those in my planner, but what I dislike about resolutions is that people can often set themselves these unrealistic goals. So they be like, okay, I'm overweight, I want to lose, you know, 5 stone, and that just feels like really unobtainable. Whereas for me, I'm like, okay, this month's goal is I want to lose 5 pounds. You know, so like unrealistic goals. And I also find that a little bit lip service, because I find that people are like, oh, I'm setting all these goals, but then never really do much with them. And for me, I'm like, you know, if you're going to set goals, you do need to make sure that they're manageable. In fact, I did a whole video on setting SMART goals. But you need to make sure they're manageable and obtainable, and that you actually go back and review them constantly. Goals only work if you do that. You need to be realistic with yourself and set yourself things that you think you can actually achieve, because there's nothing more disheartening and unmotivating than something that you will never be able to achieve, or that becomes really difficult. And you need to set yourself time to do those things. So yeah, I have set myself some goals, but I've also been very mindful about the changes, because I need to be sure that there's lots of flexibility in my life for changes. But I do also want to make some changes for myself as well. And those changes involve the house. I want to make some changes in our house. If you guys don't know, we homeschool our daughter, and we have like our dining room isn't necessarily working for us, so I want to change the layout. We've got a sofa in there. We never sit on that sofa. I want to get rid of the sofa and put some different, like go to IKEA and buy some of those like drawer thingies. I want to call them school drawers, because like we had them at school for drawers. And get some of those and just like change the layout. But we need, I need a cup of tea. Want to save up to be able to buy a new carpet for our front room. It's pretty bad now, so we need a new carpet, but obviously we need to save up for that, and we need to decorate. We need to do some serious painting in the house. So I want to do that, and at some point save up for a new bathroom, which I don't think might not be this year. It might be next year. Depending on if and when we do the carpet. So yeah, sort of like some changes in the house. I want to make changes with myself, my own life. So I found myself towards the end of the year feeling quite burnt out, and I actually put a lot of that on myself. Because at Christmas time we did a lot of activities, and you know, we had like themed days. We had like a reindeer day, and we had snowman day, and all those kind of things. And they do give a lot of me. Like, I look after the house, I homeschool our daughter, I work, so I sort of juggle a few things, which I do enjoy doing. But towards the end of the year I did feel a little bit tired and a little bit burnt out, and I'm feeling a lot more rested and a lot more motivated after having like a 2-week break over Christmas. And so I want to make some changes in my life and my routine, and push back a little bit in some areas to instill a bit more I don't like using the word self-care per se, but a little bit more time for me, or for me to do the things that I want to do. So this year I have implemented a skincare regime. I'm going to have to open the window in a minute. I'm too young for hot flushes, surely. I'm going to be 39 this year. Yeah, I'm approaching my last year of my 30s, which I'm totally fine about. I didn't turn 30 that well. I had some issues over turning 30, mainly because I wasn't where I wanted to be in my life. But the thought of turning 40 next year, I'm actually like okay with. But yeah, I still feel like I'm too young for hot flushes. Although there is another area where changes comes into play. Yeah, so I don't really like using the word self-care, because I don't feel like I don't know, maybe I do need self-care. I just think sometimes there's like, self-care comes in different ways and different forms and means different things to different people, but I'm not sure yet what I need in terms of self-care or the changes. But this Christmas I was given a load of new skincare products, and it's not like oh, I don't look after myself or don't look after my skin. It's just more like I don't prioritise these things, and that needs to change. So I've implemented a skincare regime of cleansing, toning, moisturising, exfoliating, because why not? I should have these things, I should do these things, I should look after myself. I don't know why I haven't. It doesn't take that much time out of my day. There is no reason why I can't do these things. So yeah, that's another change. I have slipped off the vegan bandwagon a little bit over Christmas, so I want to make some changes there. I want to get back into being more vegan again. I'm slipping off the bed, hang on. So we eat pretty well. I eat pretty well at home, and yeah, I just slipped off a little bit, so I'd like to get back to being more vegan again. I've still been vegetarian, just that the odd bit of chocolate or cheese or cake has kind of slipped into the diet over Christmas and December. Actually, since November, to be honest, since we went away in November. So yeah, I want to make some changes there, get back to eating vegan again. So yeah, changes in like outlook, mindset, you know, changes skincare routine, changes to the house, those little changes that I kind of want to make here and there. I'm not fully sure what all the changes are, but equally I don't want to like overload myself or bombard myself with lots of change. I do cope and adapt really well to change, I think. I'm not anti-change. It's just that, as I said, like the big change is coming, but I don't know when. So I don't want to have like loads of things going on and then not being able to cope with the big change. So yeah, like, you know, looking at little changes and kind of reviewing them and working out what's next, and okay, that big change still hasn't happened, so I can sort of implement another change. My body has been changing. Last year, I had like some crazy things going on with my body, and the doctors weren't really quite sure what was going on. So I had different tests. At one point they thought I had a heart murmur, but I didn't, luckily. And anyway, it turns out like I knew that there was changes coming with my body because I have never had regular monthly cycles before, and then all of a sudden my body started to have cycles, albeit they were like very random and in their length of days. So I knew there were changes coming. Anyway, after like tests and everything with my doctors, they found out that like my hormones were doing some like weird, crazy, wonderful things again. So I'm now on medication for said crazy hormones, which has calmed everything back down again, which is good. I've had problems with my hormones like all my life for years, and now I seem to be on medication that is like really working for me. So I've already it's been about 6 months, and I've noticed quite a lot of changes. The weight is dropping off at the moment, which is good. It's because my hormones are now sort of being regulated, which is good. No change to my diet. I already knew that I was eating well and eating the right things, but you know, not being able to lose weight no matter what I did. But yeah, now I'm on like the right medication for my hormones and my body and everything. Things are good, and so the changes, I am now pretty much having like a monthly cycle. So there's been some changes there, and I'm just kind of embracing that change as well, because I've gone for years of my life of not even having a period at all, to then suddenly now having a period every month. That's quite a big change for me, and I'm still kind of battling with how my body feels, because at one point at one point in my life, as I said, I went years without having a cycle, and then last year I started to have them at all random lengths, and towards the end of last year I started to have 2-week cycles, which was just crazy. And that was a lot to take in. Like I think John found that difficult as well, because I had PMS like nearly every other week. So yeah, it's kind of like I had to change and adjust to that, so I'm still changing and adjusting. Touch wood, they're back to being sort of monthly. So yeah, change. So yeah, it's just adapting to all those little changes that can kind of be a bit overwhelming sometimes. And just learning to deal with the new things that are coming your way and everything. So yeah, that's my word, changes. And looking out for them, being open to changes, going with the changes, all of that kind of thing. And it's interesting, I recently read the book by Beth Kempton, The Calm Christmas, which was really good, by the way. I do recommend it. And she talks about, like, at the end of the day, we are just animals as well, and in the winter, like this period after Christmas, we are kind of like in a bit of a winter hibernation, yet we feel like we're forced to make New Year's resolutions and make all these changes when, like, by nature we just want to hibernate, we just want to batten down the hatches and relax a bit. And she sort of, and it really made sense to me, like this is something that like I felt like I knew, or that I felt for a while now, and yeah, it just kind of really made sense to me. You know, she was like, why put the pressure on yourself to make New Year's resolutions to start in January when you're getting over Christmas, you still want to hibernate, there's like maybe mixed feelings or emotions over the Christmas period and all these kind of things, like, you know, kind of like, why beat yourself up about it in January? Why not wait until March or April, you know, or whenever you feel more spring-like, you know, when spring comes around and you're starting to feel more awake again and you feel like you want to come out of hibernation and everything is, you know, like the sun is starting to shine again and things are growing again and blossoming again. Why not set resolutions or goals for yourself then? And I really like that idea. That just sits really well with me and how I feel. Although, as I said, I am a bit of a goal person. I do like setting goals. I've already completed one of my goals. Last year in 2019, I had been writing a book, and my goal for 2020 was to finish the book, which I have now done. And then one of my goals is to try and get it published. I've already contacted one publisher. I don't really know what else to do now. I contacted one publisher because I like a book that they published. I like the aesthetics of it. So I contacted them, and now I'm like, do I sit and wait? Do I contact more publishers? Do I go down the self-publishing route? I don't know. But yeah, I've sort of started to undertake those goals. So there we go. That's just like a little bit of an insight into me, my life, probably too much information, I don't know. I prefer, what's the word, like more real vlogs. I'm not saying that vlogs aren't real, I'm just saying that I kind of like to see more of the person. I don't know. Maybe I've given too much away of myself. Maybe I should hold some things back. I don't know. But yeah, there we go. That's me and my word for 2020. Hope you have an awesome year, guys, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.